I grew up on military bases. My dad was an African American officer in the Army, and my mom was a Korean immigrant. And my parents shielded me from the racism and discrimination that they faced. But it was when I got to college, when people started commenting on what I looked like and wanted to know what my racial and ethnic background was, that I realized that race and ethnicity really mattered to people. And that started my journey into learning about the ways in which race and gender can impact everything. And it was that journey that I started in college that I'm still on right now as I think about the ways that race, ethnicity, and gender impact all of our lives. I took a job at a place called the Massachusetts Commission Against Discrimination. And that was a life-changing experience for me. I worked with civil rights lawyers who focused much of their work on race discrimination. And so that's when I began to learn the ways in which race operates in our country in a manner where you don't necessarily even know that it's happening. I ended up going to law school. And once I was in law school, I spent all of my time, all 3 years, working on issues related to race and immigration. Once I graduated from law school, I worked at a place called the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. And I ended up doing death penalty work, death penalty defense all across the South. And the reason I wanted to work in the criminal justice system and do death penalty work is because for me, the criminal justice system is really ground zero of the civil rights movement. And it was through my interactions with the remarkable people that I met who were sitting on death row that was one of the most powerful experiences of my life. Because as a criminal defense lawyer, as someone who works with individuals on death row, you must see the humanity in people. And I really believe that if most people in our country had contact with those who get caught up in the criminal justice system, often for reasons related to poverty and privilege or lack of privilege, I think we wouldn't have the criminal justice system that we have now. So the advice I would give to every group, not just Koreans, not just Asians, we have to first acknowledge our own issues with race, our own issues with gender, and confront them within our own communities first. And we have to confront them within ourselves too. As an Asian woman, as a Korean woman, I ask all of us to look deeply within ourselves, to ask, what more can we do to make this world a better place? And then look out to our communities of influence, to the people that we can influence, and try to bring them along. Because only after we recognize our own issues can we work together as a society to move us forward to creating the equitable, fair, and inclusive society that I believe we all want.
NAPABA proudly presents the 2020 Daniel K. Inouye Trailblazer Award to L. Sung Richardson.